again come back for 2024 to have the second year signed.
Could I add a couple of things there?
Sure.
It's Georgia-based company, as she mentioned, but they are currently under contract with Franklin County and Lancaster County. Correct?
Yes, yes.
So they have, I'm going on memory here, they have 30 employees within an hour and a half drive of our facility, so they do have depth for responding to emergencies if need be, and
And they do hire within the community, so though the plant, the base, home base is in Georgia, they do hire within the local community.
And looking at this for budget purposes, you'll recall this from the process, the warden and I analyzed the costs, and Angel analyzed the current costs we have for maintenance when you include the approved positions that are on the roster, the benefits that go along with that, all of the expenses, all in. It came not quite, but close to what this contract is. The additional, we feel, is value added. She mentioned, just having a tracking system, which we've never been able to employ, and having depth and some expertise. They'll have somebody that does HVAC where we won't really necessarily need to call a specialist or a contractor in. They have that in-house.
The agreement will allow for us to have a supervisor, an HVAC tech, and a plumbing person on site for us daily.
So it just provides, again, value added stuff.
You have a motion on the floor.
Make a motion to approve this agreement.
I'll second it, but I do have reservations.
So I forget, I know Prime Care has a huge network of facilities that, that they have a lot of depth beyond the access to people if we need backup. But do you know how big they are in terms of how many prisons they operate in?
CGL?
Yeah.
CGL has contracts, like Jamie mentioned, with Franklin County and Lancaster County currently, and then they have numerous county and state facilities in Maryland and Washington. I would say 300, but it might be more.
Wow.
So and
we're
they've
getting
been
the
doing this
Yeah.
a while. They're not new kids to the correctional
We're getting
maintenance.
the benefit of all that data that they accumulate, and then they can refine, and that trickles down to Lebanon contracts. So that's stuff we would never have access to otherwise. I think that's a great upgrade in the quality of the service that you'll experience.
I appreciate the support and this effort. Running with one maintenance man for 90 days has felt like an eternity.
The overall annual agreement is what,
48,530.
448. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I guess I should outline my concerns. One is the fact that they're an out-of-state company, which I've verbalized before. And my problem with that is that the laws in Pennsylvania are not the same as the laws in Georgia. I don't see anywhere in the contract where it says if something goes to court that it must be tried here. This could make us travel to Georgia to try and settle disputes. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see it. I tried to read it as thoroughly as I could, but with interruptions and things, perhaps I missed it. And two other things came to my attention reading through it. One is there's a startup fee of $12,000. Another is they want to use our tools. Now they say they're going to inventory them, replace them, repair them, but why aren't they using their own tools? Any mechanic coming in usually brings their own tools. And then the final thing is, it felt like they are not necessarily doing all the work, but they're talking about 10% markups on, I'm trying to remember if it was contracts and parts or one or the other, but it feels more like they're a broker than a repair service when I read the contract. And so those are my concerns.
To address your concerns, Commissioner, Dave Warner did look over the contract. It's a standard professional service contract. Timing of us not having maintenance was causing safety and security concerns within the institution. We had to make a decision on how we were going to protect the staff and the incarcerated population and the community based off of lack of maintenance staff that I had. We have a lot of gates and panels that are antiquated. A company that is correctional maintenance expertise, they're able to network within their community maintenance folks to be able to get us the parts that we need. The $12,000 we had addressed
Can I
previously.
just, before you go to the next
Yes.
item, on page 5, paragraph 18, says this agreement shall be governed by, construed, and enforced in accordance with the laws of the state of Pennsylvania. So,
Page 5, they're
page
not,
5, paragraph 18.
okay, 1, 2, 3, they're not numbered, 4, 5, paragraph 18. Okay, well but it doesn't, by the laws of Pennsylvania, will the hearings be held in Pennsylvania then?
That's what Dave always insists on that, and that's exactly what that means. I mean, it has
Well,
nothing to
that's-
do with Georgia.
That is important. You know, it does have something to do with Georgia, but
No, I
it is
mean,
important.
I'm simply responding to your concern about Georgia, saying this is not governed by laws of Georgia because they are based in Georgia. It's governed by Pennsylvania laws.
But,
So-
that's good, but it still doesn't say that the hearings would have to be appealed in the courts of Pennsylvania.
Well, they certainly would. I mean, I don't know
I
how they
would-
could file them in Georgia when, if there's a dispute, the dispute's occurring here. So it would have to be filed here.
Well, that's good. But they also are looking at all kinds of overtime, and so I'm sure we're paying for driving, and if they get held up, are we paying for hotel rooms? I can't see that we can't hire, if this is indeed more of a, how they can hire people from Georgia, and here we are, the whole state of Pennsylvania, and we can't hire people. It just doesn't make sense to me. And to have someone who would, for $448,000, we could definitely have someone to do the subcontracting. We could have an HVAC person, etc.
We were attempting that. For $430,000, we couldn't. I mean, the position's been open since August. She had another resignation. That position, there were a few applicants, couldn't have them filled. They're probably most likely paying a higher wage, but they're also asking their people to travel. They're not all going to be assigned just to our facility. They're going to be bouncing between Lancaster,
Yeah.
Chambersburg, Lebanon, and we can't, compete with that. If somebody wants to be in the maintenance business and they're willing to work in the correctional environment, they're likely going to pursue something like this over what we have to offer. At least that's what we're experiencing.
May I just add that this is an emergency situation down there that we are trying to address. It's a one-year contract. We are, this is a remedy that we are trying out for 1 year. If we don't like it, if it's as horrible as is being suggested, then we can not redo it after 23. So, I mean, this is not a 10-year contract that we're stuck with for, in the dark here. This is, we'll be able to test drive it for a year. I'm sorry, Mike.
No,
Go ahead.
it's very similar. I like, just a different perspective is that it's certainly not my preference that we contract somebody to do what we have been able to do for many years, and that's hire qualified staff to maintain our prison. But we've made best faith efforts to do that, and we are in a very vulnerable position and leaving ourselves open to liability and really safety, and you touched on it, and security issues there. So I don't see we have another good choice at this point than to try to create that stability.
I would like to acknowledge that the warden has definitely tried to address my concerns, but my training and instincts are telling me it's not something I can support. And I just want to be upfront about that. And going back to Cedar Haven, out-of-state firms and everything involved, I have the same feelings and instincts, I should say, more than feelings, but instincts that with the business model, I'm not comfortable with.
Yes.
There's still a couple of unanswered items, if I could continue just real quickly. The tools, and the warden can chime in here, but I believe that using our tools is probably better for accountability, because every contractor that comes in and out of the facility has to account for their tools coming in and their tools going out.
It's cost effective for the short term, being that we don't know if this is going to be a long writing contract. Like we mentioned, we're looking at this for 2023, potentially 2024. We have to inventory our equipment for the Department of Corrections inspections. Another reason why CGL is a good fit for our facility is because they're already familiar with the inspection credentials that are needed to get a successful 100% compliance with the Department of Corrections, as previously stated, because of their interaction with the Lancaster County Prison and the Franklin County Prison.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay.
All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-1. Now, part 2.
Thank you. Part 2 would be just formally asking for us to be able to extend our prime care contract for 2023. I thank Jamie Wolgamuth. He did a lot of the interactions with prime care to negotiate the contract. The number looks the same. Jamie was able to work with them to get us a 1% decrease from a 3% increase based off of times. The cap amount would stay the same, the cap fund would stay the same as it was last year. So we're just asking for permission to continue that for 2023.
I make a motion to sign a contract with Prime Care for $3,434,643.57.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion regarding the motion? Not all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate all the work that went into